everybody, my name is Sherry. Welcome to my stamp studio. Today I'm going to show you a couple of different versions of one of our kit collections. So when you get one of our Stampin' Up! Kits, we have different kinds of kits. If you're in the US, you can get the kits and our paper pumpkin. This isn't the paper pumpkin, it's just a regular kit collection kit. Just realized I don't have on all my studio lights, but it's super sunny out, so I think I'm okay. Excuse me. It's also allergy season. Have the windows open. It's end of summer. I hate that summer's leaving, but at least we get fall, right? So today I'm going to show you, I'll have to look on the inside. This is one of the kits that doesn't have the name on the bottom of the box. I'm going to show you the kit as is, and then I'm going to show you a couple of alternates. This is one that comes with a stamp set. So once you're done making the kit, then of course you have the stamps that you can continue on. This one, our kits are all inclusive. We usually get one a month, a new release. This is an older one. So this one comes with the Misty Moonlight Stampin' Spot. It comes with the stamps. My daughter she's an adult, but she is a huge fan of Tangled. And this one has the little lizard that reminds me of Tangled. So I'm going to go there when I do the alternate. Always has the cute box, which is fun to store them in. This particular kit, I think, would be an excellent Christmas gift, birthday gift for any young lady in your life, all the way down to probably around 6 or 7 could assemble this. It'd be great for if they're having a birthday party and they want to make this for the birthday treats as a thank you. You know, when you have a party and you make something for your guests to take home, perfect for that. So it is called Let's Party Treat Packaging Kit, but you can also use it and not make it as a package, and instead of making it packaged, cut these to be background paper instead. I'm trying to do 2 things at once. I just went to a conference and I learned I'm not a great multitasker. Although I learned nobody is. I think that I am, but sometimes when I'm trying to think of 2 things at once in my head, I should not. So here's how this kit comes. I didn't open it so you could see that I didn't add anything to it because it comes with everything. So this one has a bunch of different kinds of adhesives. We have the tear and tape, we have the dimensionals, and we have our embellishments. And then we also have our, I don't even know what they're called. They're not great. So if you're getting this for a gift for somebody, get them some adhesive as well. But they're little glued dot things, but not the best. Then we have the little pillow boxes, and you can see they come in Moonlight and probably Daffodil. Easy to put together. And then pre-punched scalloped circles. And then here's where we're going to stamp our sentiments, and then a block, which is always great. They're not as fat as our normal blocks, but especially if you're giving it as a gift, then they're going to have the block for their stamps. And then the stamps themselves do not have kangaroos or crocodiles, so you have those. And then here are the little glue things. They're okay. Again, if somebody doesn't have anything, they work. But for those of you that have a seal or a 2-way glue or a fine tip glue, use that instead. And then here's our instructions. And then my husband always likes for me to keep this because we mail so many classes. We're always looking for some reinforcement for everything that we mail out. So in here, you're going to find your instructions. A lot of times you don't need it. And then when you get the kits, one thing that you might not notice, and it's in almost all of our kit instructions, is down here is a ruler. Isn't that great? Because then when it tells you, this one doesn't have ribbon, but if it tells you need so much ribbon, then you can measure your ribbon. But sometimes it will tell you, like with the tear and tape, to use that much. That way, if you're making 12 of something or 8 cards, you can measure out your ribbon so you don't use too much. So let's put one of these together, and then I'll show you the alternate. I'm going to do the kangaroo because, you know, my husband is from Australia. Well, my daughter is too. She was born there. But she's lived here most of her life, so she doesn't have the fun accent. She used to be able to turn it on better than she can now. So I'm just going to go by the picture. So we're going to need a kangaroo. This actually matches a stamp set that we had several years ago. So pop these out. And one thing, if you're going to make all of them, pop them all out and then throw them back in the box. Just faster. That way if you don't finish, they're all still together. I just throw them back in there when I haven't popped them all out. Then we are going to need our adhesives. So I'm going to get them out of here. The alternate's at the end of the video, so if you've already made this, you can just fast forward and get to that. So So we're gonna need our embellishments, and there's usually way more embellishments than what you need for the project. And then this is on the yellow and a pink. So we're gonna need, this looks like it is, I'm gonna say positively pink, but I feel like that might be an old color when you've been doing this for almost 30 years. The older colors sometimes stay in your head. Is it positively pink? If I was doing a live, you'd be able to tell me, but this is recorded, so. Oh, look, they're double-sided, so I guess it's both colors. This is Daffodil and in the Moonlight. So we're going to fold this. A lot of times we've had these before as die cuts, so I do know how to put these together. So you can see it folds like this, and then there's this one little overhang. Now, I would use a bone folder, but let's assume that you're giving this to somebody and this is all they have. So I am just going to work with what's in the kit. I'm even going to use the little gluey things. So fold that in so it goes like this. Then you're going to take your tearing tape. This is really strong adhesive. Get here. It's double-sided. No, it's not double. This is not double-sided. Sorry, I misspoke. Put this on here, and you want it to go all the way from the end to the other end. You do need scissors, but everybody has scissors, right? Okay. You might not have as many pairs as I do. I have so many of these pairs of scissors. I have them in my bedroom, in every bedroom. I have them in the kitchen drawers. I have them in the laundry. I have them in my car. Sometimes my husband brings them in from the car. But I have them everywhere because I can't stand not having scissors where I need them. I have them in my carry-ons, and I don't, or not in my carry-ons, in my suitcases. I don't take them out. And just pop this. And you want it to go so the edges line up just like this, which is easy when they're double-sided because you don't want to see that blue very much. Just a tad. And then press it. And then it does this little pillow thing. And it's super easy. You're just going to pop one in because these are pre-scored. And if you have one that's a die, they'll be pre-scored too. Just pop that in. And then the one with the little thing to help open it, that goes on top. Just pop that down in there. See, even a child could do it. Now, if it's a 6 or 7 year old, you might have to help with this part of the folding. But sometimes they have far less inhibitions than their mom does. So sometimes they can do it better than us. Just fold that down. See, super simple. So here's your little pillow box. And of course, if you're gonna make it for a gift for somebody, you're gonna stick your candy or their little bracelets, you know, go to the dollar store or Target and find some fun stuff to fill that with. And then let's make our little tag. So here's where we're gonna use our dimensionals. And these are always nice dimensionals. For as yucky as these are, the dimensionals always make up for it. So I'm gonna stick 2 on my kangaroo. And you can see on here, there is the, you can do the same thing. It's just opposite if you are using the crocodile. Let's stick these on here. I'm not gonna stick them on her head because her head might go up a little bit. Stick her over this direction. And then you do need to open this. It has little slits. This you would want your mom to do if a child's doing it. I might want my mom to do it. I almost cut myself. And then on these, you can use the sayings that it has. These have hooray and let's party. But it also has it's your day. It has for you, my friend, you're the best. And then it has a to and from. I'm going to do it just as it has on here. So we're going to go hooray. And remember, it comes with the block. But if you're giving it this for a gift, like you could, if your grandchild lives out of state, you could send this to her for her birthday, you know, a month before her birthday, and you could add to it some more colors. You could give her some blends, just so they have everything they need ahead of time. Now, there's 2 sizes of this, so if you use one for the other words, you can get the longer. Yeah, there's longer ones. It's stuck. Pop that off there. So we have the hooray. This is where these little glue dots come in. You could also use a dimensional in here if you want. where you could send her a glue stick just from the store. If a child's doing it, a glue stick's really going to be easier. Press it on here. They are our glue dots, but because they have the top, I prefer just to have the glue dot. But see, there it comes off. But because they're not on a roll. And then we have these. On here it has the green ones. Again, if you're getting it, sending it early, you could add a couple more colors of ink pads. One. We have this. And to make sure this stays on here, I'm going to use the tear-in tape, but you don't need a lot because, again, this is super strong. So just pull a little bit off. Just go ahead and trim it. So there, as is. You can see you would do the exact same thing with the crocodile the other way. So especially if you're having boys and girls come to your party, it kind of gives you both the colors that you can use. So let's move all this over and do our alternate project. All right, let's do our alternate project now. Especially when we have a kit that has a stamp set, because eventually you will use up the consumable products, right, in your kit, but you're going to have the stamps forever, as you would with any stamp set that you would purchase, which makes the kits that come with the stamp sets an extremely good bargain. So I have taken the stamps. I'm not going to use all of them. I'll show you how many are left. The Hooray is still on the block. I did grab regular blocks. I'm going to use the lizard, the balloon, and then 2 of the additional sayings. So I've just grabbed a piece of scrap white. I don't have a lot of additional cardstock, but I am going to do that. So let's stamp our 2 images first, and then we'll get to the sentiments when we do the card. I've just kind of plucked them both on here because I'm going to cut them out. Obviously, there are no dies for any of our kits yet. That doesn't mean there will never be, because sometimes, you know, our paper pumpkins do have a die that can be an add-on purchase to them. So there we have our lizard, and it has a little bug on top and a balloon. So to color these in, because I love the idea of purchasing this kit for children of all ages, but especially for younger kids, because the images are so cute, and I think it would be perfect for them to make, like I said, for gifts for their birthday party attendees. But also, if you purchase the kit, you could always pass the stamps on to a kid. When I think of children's stamping, watercolor pencils are my go-to because they last forever. They're so easy to use, and they're super fun because they harken back to the coloring books where you just add the water. So I'm going to use our watercolor pencils. They come in 2 different kits, and with the colors that I have here, I have used both kits. I like to blend my colors. It makes them be bright and vibrant. So let's do our balloon first. I have fresh freesia, and I push hard, and I use the heck out of my pencils. As you can see, I'm pushing really, really hard. But all you do is sharpen them with a pencil sharpener, and they still last forever, but they're already inexpensive. So even if you could manage to go through a set, which you wouldn't, because I have had my white one has maybe used about that much off, because I use it all the time, even when I'm not using watercolor pencils. So I'm going to color my balloon in with the fresh freesia. And then for my shading, I am going to take my Melon Mambo. This is good if you have kids that are a little bit older that kind of want to learn the kind of some art techniques. So just a little bit of Mellow Mambo. Now let's do our tiny little dragonfly here. And do his wings and just a little bit of pumpkin pie. And they're tiny, so there's not much place that you can shade on there, but we'll get to that when we do the blending. And then a little bit of Daffodil Delight and just kind of stripe his body in. You could do every other if you wanted, but that's good for that one. And then I'm going to take, this one doesn't, I think it is probably Granny Apple. This one doesn't have, maybe Lemon Lime Twist. And I'm just going to color in most of my little lizard guy with this color. You don't have to get every single part of it because we are going to blend it. But I'm going to get most of it. That way I don't have to spend lots of time moving the color around. It's easier when you're actually using the lead. I'm not going to color his eye. I want it to be a different color of green. And I didn't get right to his toes because again I can blend down to that. And then I have Coastal Cabana. So anywhere where he has some dots on him, I'll just add a little bit of that over the top of his dots. And then where there's these lines of highlights, and kind of swipe on his tail. Just so he has some highlight colors. The tips of his toes. And then I have Old Olive. And we'll just get right here on his eye with the Old Olive. And then on this one, I'm going to go back and give him a tiny bit of green in there too. The brighter green. His eye's a little dark on my first one. And then you can color it with water and a paintbrush. It have to be a tiny paintbrush on this one. You can use a blender pen. I like sparkle, so I'm going to use my Wink of Stella. And make sure, I thought it was clean. But I'm going to start over here and watch how this just kind of smears. It will just blend it. And while it's blending, it adds that sparkle to it. You don't want to pick it all up, so just kind of move it around till it sparkles. Now this is going from kind of light color to light color. I don't mind if my little dragonfly over here gets a little bit of pink in her wings. And then I also don't mind if she gets a little bit of orange in her body. So I'm not cleaning those. But now I don't want to transfer that orange over here. So I'm going to add a little bit of this, get rid of it on that, and then I need to kind of clean that off. Once it's mostly gone, now I can go over here to that olive eye and start using it there. And now first I'm going to blend around the edges because I didn't get right up to those edges with the color. And you can see as you swoop around, see right here, swoop around and that will blend that Coastal Cabana into that brighter green, which I'm not sure. I think it's Granny Apple. It doesn't have, sometimes we've had watercolor pencils come in kits and I have pulled them out and added them to my little box of pencils. It is a color that is in the box, one of the boxes. It's super fast. Your kids will love it. It's also a way if they want to use your blends or they want to use your Stampin' Right markers that they can have their own thing. And then I'm going to show you a tip for getting this off. You don't want to leave the lead on here because it kind of makes those a little bit hard. But we're going to clean that in just a second. Is that not cute? I am going to take my snips and trim that out. I'm going to do that off camera. Okay, so I took this holographic paper. I went with a circle because if you didn't use all of your little pouches, you might have a couple of circles left. So I took, these are in the holiday catalog. They are deckled circles. And then this is the holographic paper that is part of the Space Suite in the annual catalog. So I trimmed that out. And then once I had the circle, I put it through this polka dot folder, which is one of our online exclusives on our website. And you can look under this video if you're watching the video, and I'll have all of the item numbers. And then once you've run it through, is this not super fun? So it has some fun textures, some fun colors, some fun holographs. So we have that little background piece that we have, and then just a piece of white cardstock. So you probably have this just at your house as part of your craft studio. So put that on there. And then I just laid this on here. It doesn't matter where at first. Grab those words that we have. So take your It's Your Day first. Just kind of have this laying where you're going to put it, and it doesn't really matter. Just kind of center of your card. And my It's Your Day up here. And then Let's Party. So it says It's Your Day, Let's Party. Put that there. I'm gonna stick this on here. Now with this one I did, and you could use the little glue dots that come in there. I would use anything but if I had something else. I would even use Elmer's before those, just because it would take a while to stick this big thing on there. I like to have these so they're going straight up and down or straight across the circles, or even on a diagonal, but you don't want them just a little off because it'll make it look crooked. Now remember the Stella that has a little bit of wax on it? I'm gonna grab it and just clean it off on my letters. See, it's got a little bit of color, so I'm gonna kind of go every other. And it's gonna have a little bit of faint green, kind of twist it around so the other side gets clear. So it'll have a little bit of green, a little bit of sparkle. It may even get a little bit of pink off there when you turn it. But now your Stella's clean and you didn't waste that beautiful sparkle. I am going to take this ribbon, which comes in green, and I almost used it first, but then I decided it's a bright, happy card, and our lizard may like to sit in some tempting or Tahitian tide grass. So a little bit longer than what we need. Snip that off, and then just take it and open it up with your fingernails. Super easy. A kid can do it. It doesn't require them knowing how to tie, or it doesn't require you stressing about the fact that you don't know how to tie a bow, which I get that all the time. People saying, oh, I wish I could put a bow on my card, but I don't tie as good as you. And you know what I say? It's just practice. If you think you can't tie, just go buy a super cheap spool of Walmart ribbon and just tie and tie and tie, and you know, practice makes perfect. It's just because I tie bows all the time. It's no special skill. So see, now we have some fun grass with a little bit of sparkle to it. Now I know I'm going to put my lizard here, so that's where I'm going to start with my grass. I'm going to stick this in. See how it's flipping up? I'll flip that over. That way when I put my grass on, it's already angled down. See the difference that makes? A little less adhesive now will hold it, because this is obviously not see-through, but has lots of holes in it, so you don't want a whole lot of adhesive. Very, very minimal. And the seal's great because you can just kind of pull up on it and it will just leave a little bit of sticky. You don't want a lot, but you do need to stick it on here. So literally just kind of touch this down and pull it up. Well, maybe it's sticking to my hand instead of, there we go. Flip that back over. And then you could pop these up if you want. I'm not going to. I think she looks cute in the grass, and it also helps hold that down on there. You'd have to cut the dimensionals up if you're using the ones in the kit, because they're bigger than she is, especially on the balloon. So she's got a dragonfly on her tail, and then she's going to be holding the balloon in her mouth. So just kind of tuck it under there. And then I wasn't even paying attention the first time I colored her. I just liked a pink balloon and obviously the green lizard. And then when I pulled these out, I was like, oh yeah, that's the color those are. So I like to use lots of embellishments. And even when you've done all of your pillow pockets, you're going to have a bunch of these left. So you want to use odd numbers. So I'm going to do 3 of the small ones up here. 1, 2, 3, and then we'll do 2 of the big ones down here. Because embellishments go on your cards, they don't belong in your drawer. They make people happy here, and they make us sad when we find them later in our drawers, especially if it's been years. Isn't that cute? So remember, our kits are great for you. They're especially good if you need something in a hurry and you don't want to have to think about it. And then come visit our page and find out alternate methods. We hope to start really having a library of alternates on here, but we'll also have just the videos to show you how to put the kits together. And over time, we hope to have most all of them on here. Of course, some of them right now are unavailable, because if you're watching this as we post them, we're hitting the end of the month where they're on sale. I think this one's 30% off, so it's a heck of a bargain. Stock up on it for gifts, and they're a good thing to have. Teacher gifts, gifts that if your kid gets invited to a birthday party, you could send it along as a gift. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to ask. Have a great day. Bye.